I kept really trying to figure out how to do like it'd be nice to have like a scheduled like coming up and name them, but every time I try and do that, it didn't work.
The four letters that I know in American Sign Language. Four letters that I know in American Sign Language. Hey, I can
Hello.
hear myself. Hey, everybody.
What four letters do you know in American Sign Language?
I know I, they, I'm sorry. Why am I doing? I'm speaking Spanish and doing, okay, my bad. A, was it A,
So you
B,
put it.
C,
I was like this, you can't really
yeah,
tell
those
what this is.
five. I don't know, whatever. A terrible sign, but I also just made a terrible faux pas that I haven't done since, I don't know, maybe as a teenager. I just bit into a piping hot slice of pizza.
Oh no.
Did all the toppings slide off?
Yeah, so now I have gum stalactites. So that's
Oh,
Fun.
yeah,
All right, I
yeah.
think I think the audio is sorted out now. Can everyone hear us? Dreeken, can you confirm that all three of us are coming over the airwaves now? Because I did not add the microphone or the desktop audio on this particular layout, and I was like, oh,
I
cool,
probably
this should
yeah,
just work.
probably should have Twitch pulled up as some kind of
Yeah, I did I had it, but I can't listen to it because then it'll. I was like, oh,
yeah.
I could.
I think it's on.
Yeah.
Amber says we're good.
Okay,
Well,
great.
I've been watching
Thank you,
watching the
Amber. Thank you, Dreeken.
Yeah,
All right,
there
I'm
we
gonna
go.
do the intro again because no one heard it the first time. So, welcome
intro.
to the Gimme the Loot Gen Con recap show, where 3 out of the 4,
Five.
5 people that should be on this are here. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I'm Jamie. I play Eldron on Gimme Loot. And with me today to talk about Gen Con is.
Tori, and I'm here, and I was at Gen Con,
That's right.
and yeah.
And I'm Wendell. Some of you know me, some of you don't care. I was also a Gen Con for a
I
whole
I can
2 hours.
guarantee every viewer really cares that you're here.
There's at least
Oh,
two of them
well.
that probably care.
Yeah, which is me and
And
Jamie.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah, and you know what? I'm humbled. I'm humbled by y'all's caringfulness, caring. Yes, English.
Carefulness? I
Um,
don't know.
English is not
Jamie
my
cares deeply.
first.
So yeah, we had a couple panels that we did at Gen Con. We did actual play. We did what was the names of the other ones? I know what they were
Okay,
about. I can't
let's
remember the
go
names
through
of
the
them. Yeah,
schedule.
let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Okay, so let's do it. Here we'll do format is a breakdown of the schedule. So
Sure.
Amber, our brand and content manager, uh, A's in the
Hey,
chat. Why
Amber.
do people say F's in the chat? Is that bad?
I think
What?
it's because of that
F's in the
press
chat.
F for F to
Oh,
pay respect or whatever it was on Call of
Oh, is that
Duty.
what it
I'm
is?
guessing that's what it is. I don't know
I don't know.
honestly.
I don't
I'm
know. Youths
terribly out
in
of
my
yeah
community.
the
Yeah,
youth
we don't
stuff.
have
I
any.
don't know. I mean,
Uh,
F's in the chat sound kind of profane to
It
me.
does
Just
kind of sound profane,
yeah.
but it could be like a good thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Usually it's like
F's in the chat, effer.
yeah, it's from Kai.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm not that out of touch with the current hot lingo on the internet.
No.
You're hip, Jamie. He's
Yeah,
hip.
that's right.
What was?
You're
Oh yeah, Amber and I arrived Tuesday, um, and then Turner came in later that night. Um, Wednesday, Turner was out all day doing cool game designer stuff. Amber and I kind of poked around the building. because the floor wasn't open for the convention itself. A little fun anecdote, all the people that as we started running into folks and people that were vendors and working out on the floor, the AC wasn't going to be turned on until the day of the convention. So those poor people in that huge area putting up all those things, building all those booths, no
Mm.
AC.
That is a
Well,
crazy decision for a con that has as large of a footprint as that. All those people moving, loads and loads of games and stuff around in
Every time there's a part
thankfully, it
of the
wasn't Texas.
building,
August. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
there's like
it's Indianapolis. I mean, it's Indiana. It's not Texas. You
it
know.
is not Texas. Texas would be a death trap.
yeah, I think it would
That
be illegal.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yes. Many lawsuits would have been filed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would have been heat stroke.
Wrongful death suit.
It was quite funny to hear people like really vigorously complaining about the heat when it was a beautiful like 85
Right.
and a nice breeze.
Listen, the Midwest is they know the cold, but when it's summer, we're a bunch of bitches out here.
But
That's
that's
what
weird. I don't know if you get that
the heat
excuse
wave.
because you have heat.
We do.
It's not like a
It gets
surprise.
up to like 100 degrees in the summer.
Yeah,
It's not like an abnormal
regularly.
thing to be hot. It's just people
Yeah.
like to bitch about it, I guess. I don't know. They bitch about it when it's cold here too, and that's all we have. It's like 6 months of cold. It feels like so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
85.
you
It was gorgeous out.
only
Honestly.
half the year, huh?
Yeah, only half the year.
Cool.
And then we went to Thursday, and that was when we had, I believe the first thing we had on the docket was my panel.
Yep.
Yes. So I hosted for the first time Critical Femininity, which were femme voices in the TTRPG space. And it was such a great discussion. We had the wonderful TTRPG drag queen, Juicy Garland, on, Alex Garamoni from the board game space. She does board game reviews as Board Games. We also had Claire, a lovely friend of the pod, Claire After All on all socials. And that was, yes,
Yeah,
that was
that's
all of
it.
us. For a second, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so rude if I just don't mention someone. So thank you to those lovely folks for joining that really fun conversation. Um, we had a pretty good turnout and a lot of people wanting to discuss more afterwards. So that was really great. And then that day was also our AP. So we had Goon Quest,
Mm-hmm.
GenCon,
Moon
Moon
Tree
Quest,
Mayhem or
Moon
something.
Tree Mayhem. Yeah, Slayer that day.
Yes.
Wendell wasn't in yet, so Jamie, would you like to let Wendell know how that went?
Oh, it
Yeah.
went great.
Let me know what I missed.
So Tori, Christian, and I were playing. Christian was something.
Reprising?
Yes.
It's his reprise, but he's reprising.
Reprising his role of Fromwick Fent, detective extraordinaire, and Sherlock Holmesy kind of character from previous episode. He did a great job. We had me and Tori there playing our characters. And yeah, so it started off with us trying to find a crystal where I think we probably stretched about 20 minutes worth of, what the fuck are we doing in the beginning of the show? Where Maury bullied the shop owner at a store for a bit, and then we bullied another random quest giver kind of character at some point.
What did we do?
I don't even like. You just named him like you made him into what the heck did you call? You called him something that was just a Turner's description of him, and it was pretty funny. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was now.
It'd be helpful if there was anybody else that was there also.
Yeah, that would be great.
Maybe someone in the chat that might have been there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. Can't help you.
But yeah, so we went on a quest to find. We were on a Spelljammer ship. Our ship crashed into the Lucas Oil Stadium, basically in Indiana, but it was on to Polis, and we had to basically fix the ship and get out of there. So we were looking around for crystals from the moon. We ended up
Oh, it was an owl. It was a TripAdvisor thing.
Yes,
And
and
Turner was upset
yes,
because I pushed off the rails from the TripAdvisor thing.
yes.
I don't know how.
He wanted you to roll with the TripAdvisor, and he had some other name that he said, and I can't remember what the hell it was, but it was like general description of character, kind of like 2 words, and that was
It
his
was
name.
Journey
Journey.
Consultant.
Yes.
Oh, Journey Consultant. And so
Journey
I was just,
consultant.
his name
Yes,
is
and his name is Journey
Journey.
now.
Yes.
That was their name.
That was his title. And yes, and that's what it was. And we kept going. We never asked him his name
Nope.
because decided
Hmm.
that Journey Consultant was his full name.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't stop believing. Dang it, I'm already stopped. Terrible joke. My bad.
Yeah, so hijinks ensued. I know Fromwick Fent got cursed with big dick energy at some point. That was pretty hilarious. We got Christian to do a dance up on stage. I had to write a haiku. Maury did their rendition of Goo to Go live and in living color, and it was fantastic.
And that's what Fromwick danced to.
Yep, yep. What else happened? I don't remember much else about the damn quest. Like, I'm trying to remember what we did. All I remember is I rolled 2 nat 1s in a row live, and I was gonna hide the second one, but then Christian was like, "Oh man, that sucks," and I'm like, I guess I'm gonna say it now. I just rolled a second critical failure live.
We were
It was
bad
awesome.
for
Yeah. I had a crit. I had like 2 crit successes. I think you had a crit at some point, but like for the most part, we were all rolling dog shit. Yeah, it was not great. We had some combat with a Kermit the Frog troll on a rainbow bridge.
Hi-ho.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow. Was that what that was? I didn't get that.
Yeah. It was a giant Kermit the Frog Muppet monster. At least
On the
that's what
Rainbow Bridge.
Turner
The
said he
Rainbow
was.
Bridge part I didn't catch.
Yeah. What else did we end up having to do there? We had to like.
I think I almost ate the crystal once we found it.
Yep, that was definitely a thing.
I was kind of narcolepsy, weird like daywalkerness was creeping in. And so as a bit, I had a dye that looked like the described crystal, and I was miming eating it and almost fully ate it.
Actually, almost ate it. Yeah. Luckily,
Yeah.
we yelled at her.
In care, it was all in
I
care.
did see
Yeah.
an ambulance on a couple of occasions streaking down the street toward the town. So
It could have been for Tori if she ate the dice.
Yeah.
It was been had to get your stomach. I don't know. What do you do for dice? Do you pump someone's stomach to get rid of D20s out of their guts?
Depends where you
might just,
how
as long as
you-
they don't choke, you
Do
might
they
just
have to
them
let it
pass-
pass naturally? Because that seems like that's a long dice tower trail to be
Yeah.
waiting for that roll to come out.
I feel like a D4 would require surgery.
D4 would definitely be
Definitely
medical
emergency.
intervention. I think a D20 is like round enough where it might be okay. It's very large though. It probably gets
Depending on the
stuck somewhere.
size.
Yeah.
Which
Hey, as long as you don't choke, I think you're okay.
But yeah, we had pretty good turnout for the AP, I think. We had like 18, 20 something people show up for that. Yeah, it was a good time.
and some returning folks.
Some
which was
people
fun.
that came to the show that we didn't recognize from the Discord or anything. We recognized from last year, so that was cool. Trying to remember what else happened. I don't know. It was a good time. You should have been there.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Missed out. Evidently, I did too.
So then Friday rolled around, and that's when Wendell got in. So
Yeah,
Wendell, how was your Gen Con experience?
Thursday, my Gen Con experience was short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I flew in Thursday night. I got to the Airbnb about, I don't know, 11, a little bit after 11:30, close to midnight.
Yeah, it was late.
And something evil was lurking in the dark. And so I remember I was hungry, and I was thinking to myself, see, I don't usually do ride share, so I don't know how, I don't know the ins and outs of ride sharing. So I was thinking, oh, well, I'll just have the Uber driver stop by a restaurant on the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, man, that's how that works, right? So I remember asking, like, yeah, any good restaurants around here? Anything that's open late, and he's like, no.
Just one
like,
word
what?
answer. That's it.
I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I really don't like your Jack in the Boxes and things like that. I said, but is there a Jack in the Box close by? And he looked at his phone where the address was, and he's like, no. I was like, all right. Well, I was like, is there any place that you could take me that, maybe I could get something to eat? And I'm fully expecting no. But then he just launches into these like, well, so, these type of nights, this is, it's no, and you kind of go here and I'm like, okay. I'm like, you got verbose all of a sudden. Needless to say, he drops me on the street and where the Airbnb is, and there's a guy that pulls up simultaneously, and I don't know him. So the white guy, he pulls up, he gets out, and I'm like, cool. I'm like, you in the Airbnb too? He gives me the weirdest look. And I'm like, oh, I can see it in his face. He believes I've invited him to something that's, might be a little sus. And I
It's
was
a
like,
different
oh
kind of
man,
party. It's a
yeah. So let me explain. I said, I'm part of an underground. I said, no, no, no. I said, no. I said, I'm here for GenCon, man. We got people staying in the Airbnb. He's like, oh, well, I'm not going over there. I was like, you can understand the mistake. You pulled up right across the street. He was like, yeah. And so he walked off kind of side eyeing me. So I went up to the house hoping I had the right house because I don't know what the number of shootings per capita in Indianapolis is. So, knocked on the door, which the screen was open. I mean, that was very safe, you guys, just an FYI.
Listen,
Just
security is lax if they give you
You
loot
know,
quarters.
the only people who were trying to keep out of the Airbnb was Turner.
okay.
But that was more
Door.
his
Turner was
own problem. He couldn't figure out the door.
he kept locking himself out.
Okay, well, the door was open. I knocked on the door. Answered, went in, familiar faces. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in the right place. But I'm still hungry. But magically, White Castles was there.
It's
Oh
surprising
yeah.
too.
We're partaking of White Castles. And they were like, would you like some White Castles? Did I actually say yes before I started eating? Or, oh, yeah, I did. I was like, I
Probably
don't.
simultaneously.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was like, oh, no, I don't want to take your food. Meanwhile, I'm in my brain like, yes, I walked to White Castles. Uh, so I ate the White Castles, and the White Castles were really good after you'd been on an airplane, you're super hungry close to midnight. And we stayed there talking, and gotta tell y'all. So if y'all been listening to Save versus Cinema, which you should. If you haven't, you should be listening to Save versus Cinema and Clash of the Titans. We do Clash of the Titans. As a matter of fact, the second half of our Clash of the Titans recap is out. I talked about no spoilers, but I talked about as a kid. When I went to see the Clash of the Titans, they had when you go to the movies, they used to give you swag, like just for going to the movie, you know, and it would be anything from books to toys to just different things. So one of the things that they had that they were giving out was essentially this small graphic novel of the movie. And I took, man, that was the coolest thing ever. And I took that and I must have read that thing 100 times. And I was just obsessed with Clash of the Titans and this book and everything. And I remember mentioning this on the podcast. So I'm sitting there as I'm eating White Castles. I look down on the island, um, and there this book is. I'm like, yo, I was just talking about this. I'm like, hey, whose book is this? And everybody's like, Turner got that for you. Bam. I was like, that hit. I was, wow, that hit me. I was just like, are you kidding me? And he comes around the corner. He's like, yeah, that's for you, man. I'm like, that's just. I'm almost in tears here, man. I was like, I don't know if I can hold it together. But like it's like all praises due to Turner for that. I mean, that was good looking out right there. So I have that. That is now in a special place. My nostalgia, my childhood brought back in a single book. That is magnificent. So I had to mention that and give Turner the shout out on that.
It's a nice
But it was
warm
good
up.
to see everybody.
Yeah.
You know. And then I went to sleep and we woke up the next day. And now we're Friday. Somebody else take it.
Friday. Okay, the Save versus Cinema panel I think was
That was the
after
later one.
was
Yeah.
later. First was our diversity panel.
Yes.
And this time round it was our emotional support honky hosting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the conversation was with me, friend of the pod, Cobb, and Kendo, who's great to join in. And I'm trying to think of their, because I know Cobb is at the Cobbmeister. Kendo, I think, is Kendo makes films, is involved in a lot of really cool actual play stuff, and very specifically, I want to shout out their project. It's Kendo Smith. Is the game master for Tales Ye Told, which is an award-winning AP podcast.
Award winning.
So yeah. So that was really great. Though that conversation, third year doing it, um, is always really fun one to do. I mean, it's pretty much the impetus. Is that a word?
It was the first panel that we did there.
Yeah,
Right.
and it kind of kicked off us that whole like, oh well, the guys had done it at DreamCon.
Yep.
Yeah, and that kind of is where it kicked off of like, this is kind of important of just existing as this cast in the space, just being silly, but just being ourselves and showing up and making sure there's room at the table for everyone. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who was on that panel that showed up because our own cast members that were representing the diversity did not show up.
The way that we had to put into practice immediately the like how the question we get every year, which is like, how do you strive and make the table more diverse without it being performative or making it seem like you're trying, like, because you are trying, but you don't want it to be, you want it to be genuine.
Yeah.
And it is difficult. It's good. Even with a lot of friends in the community scheduling and everything. And sometimes you just end up, going from 1 year of having all of your Black friends to just all your white friends.
Yep.
And that's just the way it's just the way that it happens.
Hey, I'd watch that. Quick question.
Yeah.
The chat is in what? Is the chat in Twitch? Where's the chat?
Oh, we're in YouTube now. It's okay. We were on Twitch.
Very new.
And then we decided that Turner wanted to see if we could move away from Twitch, to get away from Mr. Bezos and all the Amazon stuff. So we went to Google and YouTube instead.
Google's a lot better.
Yeah, probably not, but. So yeah, we're still kind of working on getting people on this platform because our Twitch following was much better. Right now, we usually only get Dreeken and like one other show listener in here regularly, and then maybe someone else will show up. So hopefully, yeah, here we are. That's fine. We did an awesome job of communicating. We were moving. I mean, I know we talked about it in the Discord. So we'll get them over here eventually. We got to do some
and
more
that's part
quests.
of the. I mean, it was good transition time because we were getting ready for Gen Con, and now we've got a lot of great folks lined up for some future guest quests. So that'll be some great content to bring people over.
Yeah. And so, what was the last panel we did?
And then the last thing was Save versus Cinema panel.
And that was Christian, Wendell,
we had Maya from the Monsters Playbook podcast.
And Turner.
I don't know.
And you guys were
the
talking
school of movie magic is where we were on that, and it was how to incorporate movies into your games, how to let movies inspire your games. Whether that's translating something wholesale, or taking bits and pieces. Before I launched into my long-winded ramble about this, either one of y'all want to chime in, because you will not be able to speak once I start.
I was just enjoying listening to all you guys talk about your different kind of perspectives. I I thought it was very, very compelling content you guys were talking about up there. So, as an audience member, I enjoyed it immensely.
Why, thank you. Because that was, that was the thing is we went from the perspective of Turner being a podcaster, um, Maya also a podcaster, and
Sound
what did she do?
engineer.
Mhm.
Yeah, sound.
Mhm.
And Christian as an actor slash stuntman, and then myself as a screenwriter. Also, I never mentioned my actor part, but anyway, we took it from those, that was the perspective, each of our perspectives, and how we use that to inform the game as it related to, cinema.
Real,
And
real quick, just
yes,
it's okay that you didn't know we were on YouTube because Anthony also didn't know we
He's
were on YouTube.
on the show and
I,
he couldn't even remember.
I see that. And I'm sitting here, I'm searching right now for it, and I was like, give me the loot. So I'm going to I just pulled the search up, so I'm not going to be listening to Biggie. I was like, I don't think that's the right give me the loot.
Nope. I mean, it's
I
the right
dropped you
one
the
for a
link in
different
the chat.
situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, what am I searching for? Because I searched GMDL casts.
In our
Give me
Zoom
what
chat, I dropped the link.
in the Zoom chat. Excellent. So now I have to go to a different place to find it. Thank you, Tori.
I think it's still
I'm all ready
GMDL
to
cast
type
on
in.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's
That's what I
like slash at GMDLcast.
Yeah.
slash at.
They gotta be fancy on YouTube, I
Like
guess.
youtube.com slash at GMDLcast.
Well, I mean, I'm just doing a straight search in the YouTube
Oh
search.
yeah. I guess we just haven't, our SEO hasn't surpassed Biggie yet.
Nope.
So
I see.
Maybe someday. We're working on that, slowly but surely. I mean, he's been dead for like 30 years, so at some point we
every day
gotta
he just
patent
gets
him,
more dead.
right? Yeah, he can't
Oh,
get any more alive. So
it has been that long, hasn't it?
yeah, which
Oh,
is
that's
crazy
crazy.
to think of. It was like 98 or 90, 98, right?
96.
96.
96.
Yeah. So
That's
almost 30
30 years.
years, which is crazy.
Him and Pac, they were the same year.
Yeah.
97, right?
Oh, I was in the middle then. Yeah.
Man, 30 years. Wow.
I remember I was in high school. That's all I.
I was 4.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
there you go.
All right,
Humbling.
Tori. Okay. Thanks for that.
I was not 4, nor was I in high school. I was, I was
Nothing.
beyond my high school years. Well, not by much though. Not by much. I was going to think about it. Like I said, I was in my early 20s
Old
at
man
that
Jamie
time.
hits again.
All right.
Okay, Amber.
All right.
I'm
Anyway,
not that old.
back to the
Like
topic.
I'm 43. Like it's not that old.
Ain't that young either.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You're only as young as you feel or something.
Jamie's a kid compared to me.
Yeah. Wendell,
Wendell, you could tell me you were 375.
Exactly. I wouldn't think you were a day older than me. You look great for your age.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm 375 to her.
Yeah.
I actually had I was at work the other day, and I was talking to a couple of guys that came in, and the way I was talking, they were looking at me just real weird, and they were like, how old are you? And I was like, well, how old do you think I am? One guy was like, 30. I had to laugh out loud at that. I like literally, I was like, laughed out loud, 30. The other guy was like, well, late 30s? I was like, man, y'all can keep guessing. I'm old enough to be your parents.
The more you keep talking, then it starts to be more believable when you give like the uncle a ha and just kind of moving around the body or around the con pointing at
Let me tell
stuff.
y'all something. Back in my day, we had phones that were attached to cords. You called somebody, and if they
We start watching you like shrink, and there's a cane starts growing out of thin air.
I started graying up. And so now I've revealed my final form. I am the uncle. My bad. I'm veering.
No,
Digress.
listen, we only got 3 people on here. We're veering as much
Yeah.
as
We're
humanly possible
sharpshooting.
here. We got to stretch for content. So,
Buffer
yes,
filler.
exactly.
Yes.
Not a
Yes.
problem today.
Also, what was your favorite part of the panel? That getting to do that Savor Cinema stuff live.
And just really hearing everybody's perspective, live and in person, and how we approach, you know, um, the way we approach D&D, what we put into it, and I think a lot of like, say from Christian's perspective, like as an actor, and he's got a character, and he likes to prepare that, he gets in his headspace about preparing that character and bringing that character to life. And it's a lot of, what's funny is to listen to him and other people realize that, because I started playing D&D at 12, and I started playing and DMing at simultaneously, and everybody's heard that story, but I don't, realizing doing voice acting and creating these characters was just something I did automatically. Like I just from day one, and nobody told me to do it. Nobody said this is, hey, you might spice up things if you do it this way. It's just something I did. But to hear, and then becoming an actor later myself, but hearing Christian kind of put that in context and realizing, man, this is kind of what I've been doing this whole time, and didn't realize it as a kid. It's just something that was just, naturally coming out. But how you prepping these characters, like, oh, I got a cool concept for an NPC. But I know one of the big things, and every DM that's DM'd in the, realm of DMness knows about improv. You know, that character, the character that's a throw, it's not even a character, it's just an NPC, from, it's like, yeah, I want to go to the market and I want to buy some dried fruits. Okay, well, there's a vendor over there selling dried fruits. You want to, yeah, I want to ask him, how much also was it, it's a woman and she's got, you describing this. Okay, well, the next thing you know, you're voicing this NPC, and it's just like, oh yes, of course, darling, I have this, and all of a sudden everybody's flocking, the PCs are flocking to this NPC that suddenly becomes a thing. And they're like, oh, what's your name? Oh, yes, of course, my name is. And you're just stalling, trying to come up.
What's her name?
Luke Harrigan. Yes, Luke Harrigan. And of course, that's something you're gonna forget the next session because you didn't write it down. And it's just, but it's funny how we come into these things. But on the movie aspect, it like to hear Maya from a sound perspective. A lot of times, like, because I'm gonna do all the sound effects, Michael Winslow style with my mouth, kind of, and but to listen to her talk about some of the aspects, of course, there's music that certain DMs bring in, but just that perspective was interesting because I don't think I've ever looked at, even though as like a filmmaker or whatnot, sound is like super super important, and like Christian pointed out, if y'all ever get to watch like a behind the scenes things, go watch like a fight in a movie or a television show, choreographed stunt thing. Watch it without the sound. Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different. It does not hit the same, and I mean that pun intended.
Just put a bunch of sneakers squeaking behind it, and it would sound totally weird.
Yeah, and you see the misses.
Yeah. You're
like, well, they're not making contact. You see it, and it's the sound that winds up selling that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's that whole thing, and then and Turner likes to he's kind of like me from just a love of cinema, a love of movies, and the fact that he has created whole cloth this giant satirical world that y'all have been playing in for years. And I'm like, I'm too lazy for that. I'm like, I applaud you, my guy, but that is way more work than I would put in. So, but to see it and how he created it, and injects the different things in it, from pop culture, whether that's movies, TV, whatever it happens to be, putting all that in there. So just hearing everybody's perspective, and me, like, I'll snatch basically a whole movie, or at least the core concept. I was saying at the panel that I ran Aliens for my weekly group, which, by the way, do want to shout this out. One of my players in my weekly group that's out in Los Angeles, they had friends that were going to Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my friends, who's also in the weekly group in Los Angeles, he was like, "Hey, he's got some friends out there. What's the name of your panels?" And so I was like, "Oh, the panel's going to be this one and this one, you know." And he's like, "All right, cool." So after we finished up the panel, his friend, she actually came up to introduce herself. And I
Oh,
was like, I was like, man, that's straight up 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I was like, yo, that's cool. And she, I mean, I'm just out here for a day randomly in Indianapolis, and I meet somebody that knows one of my weekly players that I've been playing with for years.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was cool. Her name was Jamie, by the way, and my
That's a good name.
weekly player is Marcos. Shout out Marcos. Marcos is not watching, but I'm gonna shout him out anyway. Um,
that is the coolest
but
part of Gen Con, just the community and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's a big part, and I wish honestly I'd gotten to stay longer,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could meet, more people because y'all like I said, y'all were there for the full experience. I don't when I was at Gen Con 2 years ago, I came in on Thursday. No, I came in on Friday. I think me and Anthony did, and he did what I did this time. He came in on Friday, left out on Saturday. I came in Friday and left Sunday. That first year I went, so I was there for a little longer. But this time was super short, and I really didn't get to do much other than the panels.
Mhm.
Um, oh, another shout out to Turner. He bought me a hamburger. I appreciate that.
Did you get to
You
walk the
know,
floor at all, or
no, not really.
yeah? It's
You know,
it,
talking.
it's a lot of time to go from one end to the other. So if you're there for like
Yes.
whistle stop, definitely not the move to spend an hour trying to navigate the floor and find something.
Yeah. I did. I did the first time I was there,
Yeah.
but not this. Oh, reverse shout out to Turner for that the diversity panel was like at 2 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
So I go walk all the way down to the Marriott at the thing that's way down the street to get there at 2 o'clock. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm headed back to the food court." I said, "There's a food court in the Marriott?" He's like, "Nah, where the food trucks are." I'm like, "Wait, how you gonna get there and get back here by 2?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. The panel's not till 3." I'm like, "Oh, I appreciate that, Turner. Thank you very much. I needed the steps. I get it."
That
So I
tracks.
guess yeah. So I guess a reverse shout out, partial shout out for letting me get my exercise in.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of that was my perspective on the thing. I mean on the on what we did as far in the diversity panel. I thought that was great. We got a ton of questions on the diversity panel. And I would love to see that grow
Yeah.
and get a lot larger.
I
Like
think
I said,
it's
when me, Anthony, and Jazz, no slight to anybody else that was on this panel. I'm just saying when we did it at DreamCon, the room was packed, and which was like when we did that first one, and Professor Flat Top, first one there at the first one, right? And we looked at him, we get started, and there's like 3 or 4 people there. He's like, hey, well, we figured it might be 0 people here. So hey, this is good. But by the time we got about, I don't know, about 15 minutes in, it was back to front, packed. I was like, yo, this is nuts. And then I bowed out of DreamCon because of the way they handled certain things when it came to the panelists anyway, I'm not that will put me on a soapbox that I'm not gonna go on right now.
I think our
So
audience at Gen Con's gotten bigger every year. For every panel that we've done, I think this year we averaged about 20, 25 or something like that per.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
saw
that's
that. I saw that from Turner. I was like, yeah, he told me about the turn. I was like, that's actually pretty fantastic that it's
yeah.
it's growing. Okay, so
Our AP
Is
was
there,
in
it
like the
always
hugest
blows my
room,
mind.
so like
Oh.
it was like if it was in the room we were in last year, it would have felt pretty good. But because we were in like a ballroom this year, it was like, oh yeah, there's like 20 people in a room for 100, and it feels a little
Yeah.
sparse. But you know,
and I hate that I missed that. I said I wish I could have gotten there earlier. But like I said, it was one of them things like starting a new job and
yep.
starting to say, hey, I got to go to a gaming convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back. Oh, really? Gaming convention? You say, cool. Well, why don't you just stay there? And so yeah, I had to make my trip short. But yeah, he telling me, getting kind of details about it. I was like, man, I really want to check that out.
We had some cool stuff. And then yeah, then pretty much we didn't have anything on our own dockets for Saturday and Sunday. So for those of us that were still there, I got a chance to actually walk around, check out some other panels and things.
Yep.
Jamie, did you go to any other panels?
I did not. I kept it
Didn't
really.
bother.
I didn't do hardly anything this time because I was like so stressed out about. I okay. I get really stressed about the AP stuff, and that's like all I can think about. And so then I was like, oh, I don't want to schedule anything in case I got to do it around the AP, and I don't want to schedule anything around the other two shows. So like the first 2 days, I just basically just skipped, and then like by the time I started looking at Saturday stuff, I was like, So I really didn't go to anything else. I bought paper tickets, and I didn't use any of them. But I was gonna try to play some Lorcana while I was there. I just didn't get around to it.
We say
Oh
every year it's like we want to sit down and play some games.
I know. I just want to play something, and I get too distracted.
man, I did play in Cyber Edge Lee. I did play in Lee's Shadowrun
Oh
game.
yeah.
Oh, how'd that go?
Yeah, that was cool. Cause first went so I got when I arrived, I got there and it's me and Christian. So I was completely misunderstood. Me and Christian, I thought Christian had drove.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, "Yeah, I got to be there at 10 o'clock tomorrow too." I was like, "Well, cool." So I got to be there early because I'm gonna have to stand in wheel call. We'll go together. Well, I saw Turner get up and Turner gets up and bails. It's like 8:30 in the morning. He goes out. I get up and I'm waiting. And I never see Christian anywhere. I'm like, "Where the heck is Christian?" I'm like, "Well, shoot, it's getting late, man. I gotta go." So it turns out that Christian did not drive. He was ride sharing just like me. And he had already left, and I'm standing there twiddling my thumbs. So I call up another Uber driver, and I'm like, "Hey, you go to this address." I was like, and then on the way, can we start? No, no, I'm kidding. That didn't happen. It'd been funny if it was the same guy. But anyway, I get there, but I get there so late that I'm standing in, wheel call. Y'all know what wheel call line looks like. So I'm standing in the wheel call, and by the time I get out of wheel call, it's like 10:30, and the game's supposed to start at 10. So I text Lee, and I'm like, "Hey man, I'm not gonna be there on time, but I'll drop by and watch." Because this is like the second year in a row that I didn't get to play in this game, and I was like, "Man." So I get there, and he's like, "No, we're just getting ramped. We're just getting ramped up. We're just getting going." I'm like, "All right, we're cool." And so I sit down next to a couple of young ladies who were DMs After Dark is their podcast, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Another shout out to the podcast community. And dropped into the game and went on an adventure. And it was I hadn't played Shadowrun in eons. And so I kept having to ask Lee. I was like, "Yeah, I remember what this used to do back in the day. I don't remember it now. What does this do?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you can do this, you can do this." And so we're playing Black Trenchcoat, and I do want to apologize to Lee because I don't think I was Black Trenchcoat enough. So for all y'all that don't know what that means, I'm not gonna explain it. So yeah, it was it was cool though. It was a good time. I enjoyed actually finally getting a chance to sit down at Lee's table and play like I had planned to do 2 years ago or whatever. So yeah, definitely cool. So he did a great job, and I would gladly play at his table again. And we have plans to hopefully next year play some BattleTech together as players at the same table. So yeah. So I just want to mention that, man. Give Lee his props.
It's fun. Yeah, Christian was gone, what, 12 hours each day playing just
He was just out there playing Greyhawk the whole time, and he was having a blast from what he
He'd
was
become
telling
like
us. He'd be like,
King
"I
of
had the
Greyhawk or
great
something.
yeah." He's like, "I had such a great time playing this game. I'm just gonna go back and play some more." I'm like, "All right, dude, have fun." Like, he was having a blast. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It
He
was
was like
really,
a kid.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and I did get to go in the stadium this year. I didn't last year. 2 years ago, I meant to go in the stadium, and I was good. We were at the food truck, but I was so disappointed with what I got at the food truck. It just really messed me up, and so I left. I was like, and I didn't. Then I was on the plane like, man, I forgot to go in the stadium. So I went to the Colts stadium.
My favorite part of going to the Colts stadium is seeing the two AFC finalist banners that they had to fold over because they're embarrassed about it now when they lost to the Patriots. So, fuck the
Yeah, well,
Colts.
kind of everybody kind of lost to the Patriots at one point, right?
That's right. At some point.
Yeah, and so I'm a, how do I describe myself? I am a cursory cowboy spectator. That's, yeah, that's my current description of my fandom. So yeah, yeah. If the owner does not care about what happens between the uprights, why should I?
That's fair.
So yep, Amber. I forgot. Me and
I was like,
Amber did.
where's Amber in the
Yeah,
chat?
yeah. Where's Amber? I'm looking for Amber in the chat. Me and Amber did definitely vent. Uh, we definitely vented about some sports. So
Mm-hmm.
I can sit down and vent and rant about sports with Amber any day.
Yelling about the Cowboys. Yes, that was
Yep.
a
Yep,
good
yep.
time.
That was that was that conversation got so intense. Everybody else just kind of wandered away. It's like
We all
we can
went to
go
sleep.
in the house.
Tori, did you get to go to any
So
panels that you enjoyed while you were there, or
Yeah, I went to a couple of APs. I was cool, saw Cobb and I was gonna say Cobb and Jeremy. That's just his first name and last name.
yes?
Cobb and Jasper. Um play I don't remember if their specific name to the system. Because I missed like the first like 10 minutes of it, but they were with 12-sided die. Is that the
there are D12 systems.
Ooh, I need
Twelve-sided
to remember the name of the
entertainment something. That sounds
something was it or six because six-sided. I want to be able to talk about this the correctly. But it was like a fun story that they did. It kind of was similar to like the very narrative driven like powered by the apocalypse type of situation, but they did use the D20, but it was like that you wanted to roll low. And
mm-hmm.
so walking in 10 minutes late and people were
Cheering
cheering
for
for not
ones.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a little bit
What is
confused.
happening right now?
My world has been turned upside
I
down.
don't know. People
Yeah.
cheer for ones sometimes. On the other end, when things go very badly, it's fun. So it could
Oh,
have been
here we
that
go.
Uh,
Okay.
situation.
So
A Bronx cheer for
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
Rolling
Force of
bad.
Extinction is the new TTRPG, co-created by Edward Spence, who was the DM, was a really great DM, did really cool little sound effects. And playing were Cobb, Jasper, Chad Pytel, and Danielle Radford. And it was really fun.
Nice.
What else did I
That's
see? Oh, and I also went to um an AP feature put on, I'm guessing by Wizards, with uh, Ed Greenwood
ah,
played. Uh,
creator of the Forgotten Realms.
yeah, he was playing like in the Forgotten Realms as Elminster,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, that's
voice
his
actors
signature.
from Baldur's Gate 3, and a couple of other folks from the D&D space. But really, I was just there to listen to um, the voice actor for Raphael speak. Uh,
Hmm.
Whatever you
just
wanted to
like
say.
Yeah, he just what to wax poet. Every once in a while, they would just they did a really good job because it was a full table, and the DM was great of like moving forward the narrative and wrapping it up in like the time that they had. With like some inexperienced players, like I don't think the voice actor for Raphael rolled the dice more than maybe once. And he was kind of there as like a little set dressing, but cut to him every once in a while to have like an inner monologue of like, oh, like these people and like, what are you thinking? And like, da da da, and just kind of went on and it was great. Um, if I did any other event things. Lots of just visiting around. It was nice, kind of it being our third year there, starting a little bit of getting familiar faces and kind of like it was neat to just hop around and say hi to people.
Yeah, that's I'm right there. That's my big thing too. Oh, and the fact that, like I said, I had never met Jamie in person.
That's
Oh
true. Yep, that
yeah.
was the first time meeting Wendell in person. Yep.
Yeah, and I had never met Saga plays in my weekly game, and I never met them in person.
Yeah,
So
always great to see the patrons there too.
yes, indeed. And
Mhm.
so I'm hoping, like I said, this can be done again and get to see more and more people. Like I said, so I got like I said, Jamie in person, Saga in person, Lee in person, Amber in person. That was last. That was the last but not least, Amber. Uh, so just but yeah, been running. Because obviously seen these people in chat or played D&D with them, or been on the stream or whatever, and it's like, hey, it's live and in person. So I was starstruck. Same goes for Christian as well, because I've only played with Christian online.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same.
it's my first time meeting Christian too.
Yeah, so yeah, Christian and I had never met in person. Unfortunately, our fellow Cinemaster Kat Kruger, she was unable to make it there, so I would have loved to have met her in person. But hopefully another time. Like I said, but ending all my like I said, I got there Thursday night at 11:30, and right after our panel, right after Schools of Movie Magic, ended at 6:30 ish. I kind of conversed with a few people and then ran to the airport and got another Uber driver. I was like, you could just drop me off at the terminal. No. It's like, but yeah, I was in and out. And so I hate that it had to be so fast. But like, it sounds like y'all had a great time.
Yeah. One of these years, we'll get everyone on the cast to actually go and play a game in person together for the first. I don't know what year it's gonna be. We gotta put
Yeah.
bets on it if it's gonna happen next year. I don't know. But it'd be great to. Last year we didn't have Anthony. This year we didn't have Anthony, Jazz, or Harlan. So hopefully next year we can get.
And then you're just leaving out the year we didn't have you, Jamie.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen, I was in there the first year. That's right. That was me the first year. And then last
Yeah.
year no Anthony, and then yeah. So, but the first year we didn't do an actual play, so it wasn't my fault that
You didn't miss out on
I
that.
didn't
That's
miss
true.
anything. We weren't gonna actually play for anyone. But yeah,
But,
we'll
but,
get
the,
there.
but the first year, Anthony and Harlan were there.
That is true. Yeah, Harlan was there last year. Everyone was there except for Anthony last year because he was sick. I think. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
had very, very valid reasons to
Yeah,
not be there.
it's just shitty like luck of the draw there. Like I don't understand like how it keeps happening. Like this year, Harlan bought like a ticket and then he was like, "Ah, shit, I got a cruise that week." And I was like, "Ah, man, like."
Oh, it's cool.
Because Harlan,
How,
Ross is over
Harlan,
like
my
it's
cruise.
not like Gen Con wasn't like on the calendar for like the whole
right,
year, like but
because
okay, that's
Harlan lacks
fine.
forethought. See, I'm not going on my cruise until next month.
Nice.
Plan ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
See, he could have done that. He just didn't look
But
at the
yeah,
calendar.
I blame Harlan.
I my parents didn't schedule my dad's open heart surgery until after I got back from Gen Con. So
Yeah.
who
That's,
has
that's very thoughtful of them.
right?
How's
So
your dad doing?
he's doing great. He's doing
Okay.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're exactly a week from day of surgery, and he's bopping around.
Well, good. Glad to hear that.
Hi, Dragon.
Always good when you come off the surgical table.
Yeah.
He's in shape.
Yeah, well, I think that puts us kind of ended on a good note. If we want to close
Yeah.
out with a final question, um,
Well, now you got to think of the question since
um,
you mentioned it.
if you
You did
okay,
mention onus is
so
squarely on you.
got for next Gen Con,
Yeah.
let's say we all had kind of an Anthony Wendell, a family Robertson experience of just you just blop in and blop out, and you only get to do one thing. What is the one thing you get to do?
Honestly, I want to do the actual play with the actual full cast of people next time. That's my
Oh,
go. That's the one thing I do want to do is get to play with people in person because I don't get to do it any other time. So yeah, and maybe
Wendell.
play a non-Eldrin character would be great.
Mm.
That'd be
Uh,
fun.
I don't know who that's
uh,
gonna be yet, but
if I was able to be included in the actual play, I think I would want to go that route too. You know, and are we talking aside from the panels?
Just any if you could like if there is for whatever in some weird way you could only do one singular thing, and you're just going in, you're going to do that one little activity.
Okay, activity. So I'm gonna set the panels aside and say because you say activity.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd say actual play would probably be the number one for me if I had the if I was included in that. If I wasn't
Yeah.
included in
why
that, it
wouldn't
would
you
probably.
be? Come on
Yeah.
now.
I mean, I'm just saying, if it was just like strictly cash
Nope.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
you
Nah.
know,
No.
and so I had to go find I had to dig into my own deal. Probably, like I said, sit down and play a game with some of the patrons,
Mhm.
me and Lee wanted to play BattleTech, and he did play. I did, something like that where I get to actually, it's like, all right, let's mix it up with the people, man. I want to mix it up with the folks that I've seen online for years now, and just getting the opportunity to meet some, and so yeah, that would probably be it for me. So AP at the top of my list, but other than that, get a chance to play a game with some patrons and other folks.
Right in the same theme with y'all. I'd go for a like Gen Con hosted like a what would you call it? It's like sitting and playing a game, whether it's D&D or some other GM'd game, by somebody that is like doing a session
Mm-hmm.
where we're all like, as all the cast members playing together, like not on a stage and
Yeah.
just like getting to play a game together. Because when last year when
Oh my god, that was so
Turner had
fun.
signed us up to do the My Little Pony thing just
Yeah.
to like get an idea for the mechanics, it was just so fun to have somebody else GM us. Turner got to play
Right.
and we were guided through it and just had to sit there and play the game together and not have to like do any sort of production stuff.
Yeah.
We're not like networking. We're just sitting and playing together. And so it was like a little break from work and just really get to enjoy the space. And it was just our little table and there was like six of us sitting there, including the GM, and it was really fun.
Yeah. Like getting to play with Turner like as a player is something we don't get to
Yeah.
do very often. So that was a good time.
Well, that would be cool, definitely. So,
I think that's all we got. Is that it? That's
mhm.
all, folks. All right. Well, we'll wrap it here. Thanks for stopping by and hearing us yap about Gen Con. We had a good time. There was some other stuff that you'll never know because you weren't there. That happened at the house.
Happens at
Yeah,
We'll
GenCon.
never
shady
Stays.
know
Gen
about
Con.
let's just throw out some uh terrible waiter.
Terrible waiter.
Family connections.
Family connections. Sure.
Um, what else happened?
Oh man, I missed the dinner
I
too.
learned
That's
about
right.
Banana Ball.
Oh,
What?
banana ball.
What?
Yep.
You weren't there.
No, you weren't there.
That's the game.
Banana Ball.
Say things that other people weren't there for.
Uh, Turner laser suit.
Yeah. Turner laser tie. Turner light up
laser
shoes.
Turner light up shoes. Uh,
Super
Okay.
cosplayers. Sweaty
Amber,
pervs.
Amber
sweaty
says she's
perv.
still angered by the waiter, by the
Still
terrible
mad
waiter.
about the waiter. Yeah, terrible waiter.
Terrible waiter.
But yeah, it was a good time, and
Terrible
can't
waiter. Great time. Great drinks.
yeah can't wait to do it again next year.
Yep.
So
Indeed.
hopefully we'll see you guys there next year. More of you guys, the guys that made it this year. Thanks for coming, and
Indeed.
yeah, hope
Long drives for a lot of them.
yeah. What drinks?
So I had a drink.
I had one. I'm sorry.
I never
I
did
drank
it.
some sparkling water on the plane on the way back.
Ooh. Ooh, what snacks did you get? What airline did you fly?
I flew
Biscoff
Southwest.
cookies? Did you get the Biscoff cookies? Was the
No, they have
No,
a new, what
no,
was their treat? It was like a little graham thing.
pretzels. Well, yeah, graham. You could get the graham crackers or the
Mm.
pretzels, but I think the
I
default to
couldn't
the
eat either of them.
pretzels. So I had pretzels slung in me both times.
Are they the
Mm.
flavored pretzels or are they just plain pretzels?
Yeah, they're flavored
Yeah,
pretzels.
yeah.
So yeah, I was
That's not bad.
so you know, as somebody who grew up on planes, I remember having full meals on flights from Dallas to Los Angeles
Mhm.
while I was sitting on L 1011, which was 3 rows. Why this thing had 3 rows of 3 seats each, and so I mean I actually had chicken cordon bleu for the first time on a plane. So
Yeah.
and you used to get a choice of meal. I think you still do in first class, right? Choice of meals.
I think
Don't get the
I think it's
fish.
an international. I think it's a length
Yeah.
of flight sort of thing.
If when I flew to Spain, I got to pick my meal on that one. But I haven't flown like a long flight, like
Yeah, I flew to
I'm saying this
Philippines.
used to
recently.
be. I mean, this was domestic. This is
Yeah.
Dallas to LA.
I'm surprised with the domestic. I always
Dallas to
thought
LA
I
feels
grew
like
up
that's
doing
crazy with the meal
international.
on
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was like again back in the day. I grew up around my
yeah.
dad used to work at the
Yeah.
airport, so I grew up around planes, and we flew free, so we just hop
Or
on
and
the
I
plane.
guess maybe the flights were a little longer
Maybe
because
the
even
planes
like
were slower. Is that the?
yeah,
It's still 3 hours from here to Dallas to LA. So
because we were even at a point where we had a couple of legs of our flight where they're like, we don't know if we're gonna have time to like bring out the drink cart, so we'll pass out water bottles sort of thing. I've been on a lot of
oh,
those.
that's
Man,
the Dallas to Austin flight or the Austin to Houston flight.
Chicago to Indianapolis
So
flight.
up
There's
and
like
down.
you're just up there just long enough to turn off the seatbelt sign, and then you're right back down. It's like,
Right.
ugh. So,
And we're on final approach. Like,
yep.
damn, just,
Like,
just
Yep.
put your shit
I
away,
didn't even chance to
guys.
go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and now we're gonna land that plane of this stream. There
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
right.
There it is.
Way
There
to
you go. Good
segue. That's an
segue.
excellent
Good segue.
segue. All right, everybody.
Segue down that roadway. All
Yeah.
right.
Fly again soon or something. Put your tray tables in the upright position and hope
Yes.
you enjoyed the show. Make stream it now.